Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are featuring what I consider an absolute stunning watch from the Italian brand Venezianico. Now this is a brand new model. It's only available on pre-sale at the moment, and I believe that no watches will be shipped until November 15th. And actually on the release of this video there have been two new pictures given to me of two other colour variations are going to do, and I think this watch is just stunning. I was lucky enough to meet the guys at the World Time Fair in London only a week or so ago, and real nice bunch of people. When I was actually at the stand, the amount of people asking how much these watches cost, because they simply could not believe the price. We are talking only 500 and I think it's 514 euros for the watch as you see it right now. And if you buy it on the bracelet, and I have to admit the bracelet looks amazing on this watch, it's only 85 euros more, which is absolutely insane. Because as you know, I work in the work as a watchmaker, and I wore this watch to work a couple of times, and the amount of people going, just absolutely who loved the watch and could not believe the price when I told them. They thought it would all be four figures plus. It's, to me, this is very much like a mini Moser watch. And if you know Moser watches, you'll know that's quite a compliment. So anyway, let's talk sizes first. We are talking a 40mm case size, a thickness of only 11.3mm, I believe it was. Look to look of 46.5 and a strap size of 20mm. Now, the dial on this watch, it's stunning. The lights, unfortunately, in my room here do not do it justice at all. You've just got this beautiful green turquoise, kind of color to it air, which almost looks black in certain lights. It's such a classy dial, and obviously I get to review an awful amount of watches, and this I think it's absolutely superb. So anyway, the way you read this watch, this is called a regulator style display. So what's meant by that is we have two hands, but they're on independent axles from each other. So what we have here, it's really hard to get this in the right light, is the actual minute hand there. So if I pull this crown out, you can see that is the minute hand. So how how you actually read the time, you look at this hand first, and that gives you your hour, and it's actually given in a 24-hour kind of layout. So everything this side of the dial is in the evening, everything this side of the dial is in the morning. So at the moment, this is 6:15 night. Now, if I whiz this round, it's obviously midnight, and then that's 1:15 and so forth. Not rocket science, but it does mean you have to take a minute to actually read the time. So, it's not one of those for pure clarity. This is more for, don't get me wrong, the timekeeping is excellent, which we'll talk about in a minute, but it's not that kind of watch. You look at it and it's just simply stunning. I love the way they've got the sunburst effect going on here. You have the very minimal text, and I like the way they've done that with the brand name and then in lovely script below, Redentore. It looks so good, and you have their applied hour marker. I think they've done that just so well. And then those little extra details like the raised up ring for the actual hours there and the minutes. There's not much more really they could have done to this dial. It just looks so good. I love that when you look in the center here, you're normally used to seeing a second hand, so you look to normally as a counterweight on the other side, but obviously there isn't with this, and it looks superb. Though the movement could accept a second hand if they wanted to, but they didn't choose to go that direction. Now, the crystal on top is a sapphire crystal. It does feature AR coating, and it's got this really nice sort of like lip going up there, this beveled edge. It looks really, really as you can tell, I think you can just tell by the way I'm talking about this watch, it looks great. They've finished it really well. You have a fixed bezel polished on top there. Then you have a nicely brushed case body of the watch going on. And you have this very nicely sculpted down lugs, which means it sits on your wrist really, really well. Now, they have polished the top of the lugs, but they've kept the sides brushed. You have these very nice crown guards going on here. The crown itself is a brushed affair. I'm surprised they didn't go with a polish, to be fair, on there. Now, it's not a screw-down crown. It goes straight into hand wind, as you can hear. So that's straight into hand wind. Pull it out, and as you've seen, it's a hacking movement. Though you haven't got a second hand to actually hack there, but it is a hacking movement. So it does stop everything, and then press it in. Now, I say it's got 50 meters of water resistance, so it's enough, you know, for this style of watch. It's perfectly okay. Now, as we come round to the back of a watch, one thing they always do, they always like to engrave their backs, and they've done a really nice job as ever on this. The actual case back is screwed down with these 6 screws going on there. Now, underneath there, they are using a Seiko NH39. I hadn't heard of that movement before, but that's how you get this layout. Now, I know what many people will say as soon as they hear a Seiko movement. This is more expensive than the NH35 movements you get in regular Seikos. And I put it on the time graph and I was quite impressed. I think it was running pretty well 0. Might have been -1 or 0-ish. And obviously you haven't got a second hand, so it does make it hard. So if you haven't got a time grapher like I've got, it would make it a little bit awkward to truly test. But this one seems very accurate, so no problems at all. It's got 41 hours of power reserve and a 24 joule movement. It is an automatic movement as well. So I just think it looks, yeah, it looks great. I love this leather strap they have fitted to it as well. Very rare do you ever get a leather strap which truly matches the colour of the dial. But this, they're pretty well nailed it, I'd say. It's not without faults, which I'll say in a minute, but I think it looks superb. Now, what is also cool, look at the fit between the case of the watch and the leather strap. How often do you see a fit that close? In fact, when I first got the watch, there was quite a lot of squeakage going on. I don't know if squeakage is a word, but it is now, because it is that close. Now, I know what some people might say, okay, it's got curved links there, that means I can't fit a standard leather strap on this watch. But you'd be wrong, because when you take this off, it's actually got 2 sets of spring bar holes in there. I've not, no, I take it back. The Zin 144 anniversary has that, but that is quite rare to see them, 2 sets of that. They could have so easily cheaped out and brought this further back. And, you know, it still would have been a nice watch, but they didn't. They went the whole hog and went with this really nice and tight finish there. So it's one of these. As much as I love the bracelet on the watch, the colour of this just looks superb. Now, we do have a fixed, the class, sorry, at the top there is all signed as well. You can see there. We have 2 keepers, this one floating and that one a fixed one. Now, on the back, it is signed up there. Now, let me put this on my wrist and you'll see one slight problem we have here. We'll zoom out a little bit here. Quick wrist check. I'm wearing the Solar Seiko tuner there. It's just a great grab and go watch. And Bob has got something completely, utterly random. And I'll tell you what, I didn't know if I'd like this or not. And I do quite like it, but don't tell anyone. So anyway, my wrist size is 7¼ inches, and that equates to roughly 18.5 centimeters. Now, as you can see, I just think it looks stunning. Yeah, there's no getting around it. I think it's such a gorgeous looking watch. Now, this is, and you can see how it sits nice and snug on the wrist. Now, this is one slight problem I do have with the watch. If you notice, I've only just got I've only got 3 holes left on that actual strap, so I reckon this is only for someone with like up to 7.5 inch wrists. I don't think it would fit anywhere further than that. You might have to go with the actual bracelet. The bracelet itself does come in this very nice box as well, and that will easily cover you if you have a larger wrist. But I think it just looks so good on the leather. I hope they do really well with this. It would be really nice to see them sort of like get more notoriety, but I think they've got an absolute winner with this one. And the other colours as well. really hard to fault, really is. Anyway, let me know in the comments below what you think of this one, but most importantly, guys, you stay safe out there. Take care. Bye.